Hello and welcome. You are watching Pinky TV and this is What Women Want. If you are on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to this channel and leave a comment. Tell us who your superhero in your community is and you could win a phone with Safaricom. These conversations are brought to you by SBM Bank and today our superhero is an amazing woman. Kalpa Padia is a mother, a businesswoman, a supporter of the arts in every form, and a woman who is an inspiration to many. She's celebrated in the newspapers and has been facilitated by the First Lady of Kenya for her humanitarian work. She has a chapter dedicated to her in a book by Evelyn Mungai. Welcome, Kalpa.
Thank you.
Or should I call you Pinky?
Pinku. No.
Pinku.
Yeah, but I think not many of them know me by that name.
So that's your nickname. And I was just saying to Olive that that's a common Indian nickname. Pinky.
Yeah.
Like
so I think when I was born, I was pink. So the doctor said Pinku.
Yeah.
And then after a year, they decided we can't put Pinku as a name in school. So then they gave me Kalpa.
Like for me, as I get older, I'm like, do I need to go to my real name? But I don't know. I like Pinky. It's just stuck. I like it.
So in India, at my maternal side, I think everybody calls me Pinku.
Pinku.
Yeah.
So you're originally from India. How does an Indian woman come to Kenya and become a CEO of one of the biggest brands in Africa?
Okay, so I got married and came here. So my husband was from here. My children are the fourth generation here.
Yeah.
So that's how I ended up coming to Kenya. Business, I think, probably is in the blood. When you say you are a Gujarati, and it just comes into your blood, kind of a thing. But for me, I was more of my passion is more of art.
Yeah.
I was more of an artist, dancing, painting. That was what it was. And Rajesh family was business owned, and then 2001 is when he asked about the cheese factory.
Yes.
I mean, can we start? I said, you know what? I come from India. I don't know anything about cheese, but you've been so passionate, so let's start. Mm-hmm. So it was like a why not kind of a question, and then that's how it all started.
Wow.
So he was the CEO first, and then after he passed on, I took on the buck from him and carried on. It's been 21 years now into the business.
Oh my gosh. And that's why it's a household name. And it's, I don't know how many people know this, but Raka is Rajesh and Kalpa.
Yes.
Yeah. Raka cheese.
So he says he come from Kikuyu land, so he had to put something
about the names.
Added onto your business kind of a thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
How does it feel to be a traditional woman in a modern world?
So when I got married and came, I think we've been, I think society or families all set up the norms that this is how a woman or a girl has to behave or dress up or talk and everything. So coming from India, I think with how my parents had brought me up, I became more of a family woman, though I was always working before. Mm-hmm. Coming huge big family. I think slowly with time, I think mainly after Rajesh passed on, I think it was a complete 360 change for me, because all this while it was him who did the talking, who did everything. Even with my in-laws or everything, I never had to talk. Wow. He was the one who stood as a shield in front of me, and then once he was gone, I think somebody had to voice out this one, and then so that's how. I think it was a complete change from a traditional to a modern, not modern, I'm still traditional in my own. But
maybe the word is empowered.
Yes, I think when you are left with no choice but to do it. So I think that brings out whatever was hidden inside comes out from there.
You have a beautiful story of how you met and married Rajesh.
Oh yeah.
And I know because, I mean, we've had this conversation before, but I just thought it was so amazing how you took us through your journey and how you met him. And, it was so there's so many questions around it, but I'd love for you to share that story so I can ask you those questions.
Yes, he came from Kenya to look for a bride for himself. We met in a very funny way, as such, not funny in the sense, I think his parents had come looking for in Bangalore, and one of my friend's brother was in Kenya at that time, so they said, let's go and meet him and find out how my brother is and everything. And when she met Rajesh, I mean, parents must have told, we've come looking for a girl, everything.
Yes.
She met him and she felt that was the right person for Kalpa. So she called me. I said, Parul, where are you putting me in a huge family? You know, because I come from a huge family in India myself. So I was looking for a nuclear family.
Okay, something
you know, something smaller
yeah.
kind of thing. I said, 5 brothers, 1 sister, where are you putting me in this? But anyway, I told my mom, I said, you know, she's always been looking out for a boy for me. So why don't you go and have a look? I mean, you know, in India, it's first the parents go and see if everything is okay, then the boy and girl would meet. The same old rigmarole of everything what everybody goes through. So parents went and met. Even before they could make a decision, his parents said, when do we come to see her?
Wow.
So it happened, they came, they were supposed to come at 9:30, they came at 10:30 at night. Yeah, typical Indian standard, stretchable time, what you say.
Yeah.
Well, I think we met and we just couldn't stop talking.
Wow.
Yeah, I think we went on for almost till midnight. And I think the parents had to come and say, now enough. Kind of a thing. And then he said, if everything, he was like, I drink, I eat, I smoke. I come from a Jain family. So he said, my history is bad, my geography can be improved. I was okay, because what I liked about him was his honesty.
Yeah.
He was honest about everything. His relationship with his brothers, his bhabis, his parents, his uncles. So that's what got me. Meat eating and some smoking, it did not bother me at all. I said, that's his personal thing.
Yeah.
So my mom asked, Mom, he says, he eats. I said, Mom, I'm getting married, so I don't have an issue with that. So we were okay. Plus then it was like literally Jat Mangni Patwya. Next day we went, he called, it's at 8 o'clock in the morning, we're meeting up for lunch. It was a 5-hour lunch. And then he proposed to me, he says, I would love to grow old next to you.
Wow.
That's how he proposed. And it was like literally, we got engaged on the 30th, we got married on the 18th. So it was literally Jat Mangni Patwya.
And so this is an arranged marriage that we've heard of. Some people who don't know the Indian tradition, it is part of the culture.
In India,
and,
yes.
And it still happens, I think.
Yes, it does.
Yeah,
it does.
It still happens. So for you, this was normal. And
because I'd seen so many boys earlier.
Yeah.
You know, they.
Also, this was a real connection.
So it was. So I'd seen so many men. I mean, some of them were like they didn't know what they wanted. So it would be like either you're thin or you're fat or you're tall or you're short or you're fair or you're dark. I mean, there was nothing like.
Did they ever? They said that to your parents?
Yes. Yeah. Not to them, to me, and to my parents too. Yes. So you go through that, you know, like when you. So sometimes at one point I was telling Dad, I said, Dad, I really don't want to get married. Let me come and help you in the business, and we take it from there.
Yeah.
My mother was also under this one. Okay, if you find somebody, go.
Wow.
In the sense, she says, if you run away, please let me know. You're going to run away and get married.
Yeah.
But they were very liberal. My parents were very liberal, and they did not like force me into anything. So unless you are not ready. We will not go ahead. So that way, that's how I finished my masters too. Because you know, especially in a Gujarati family, going beyond a BA, BCom, BSc was something not a norm.
Yeah.
At that time. Then my professor was like, she's a good student. Why don't you look for the boy, and this way let's her finish her masters.
Yeah.
So that's how I ended up doing my masters. Literally, I finished my masters 95 March, and August I was married.
And then you move into a strange country.
Totally.
And
totally with no people, I didn't know anyone.
And his family becomes your family.
Yes.
And you do the traditional things of looking after his family.
Yes, because it was a joint family.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we were all together, and Rajesh was the youngest.
Okay.
So, and then you carry on with the family traditions and everything. And then I think in December, he was like, come join the business. Was the family business.
Yes.
But I think that time they didn't have an accountant or something, so we were trying to finish up old accounts. So with an attaché, we sat overnight, finished. So that's how I joined the Highlands business.
Okay.
When I came came to Nairobi in September.
All right.
October to December, I started classes in Nyeri.
Okay.
For the children, painting classes, dance classes.
Yeah,
Then
because
the ladies.
that's what you love.
Yes.
Yeah.
So and then there was nothing, especially because Nyeri is a small town.
Yeah.
Nairobi, you could get classes, teach people for the children
Yeah.
and everything. But Nyeri, there was nothing. So I said this was something I could tell. And that time there was so many children at that time. Now they've all grown up
Yeah.
and married and everything. But that time, so that's how I started my dance classes. I taught them handicrafts. I taught them painting. Then the ladies came, taught them classes. So that way my mother-in-law gave me a lot of push. I mean, she literally, she didn't stop me. So that way was really nice, that way. Then taught Garba over there. We had this, I think 95 or 96, there was this competition by the Hindu Council Women's Wing. Put Nyeri on the map, you know, got the ladies to come. We got a second prize. So,
wow.
So that way.
So you were busy.
Yes, and Nyeri town is such, you have to keep yourself busy, otherwise you would like go crazy.
And then your husband passed away. So now suddenly you're a widow.
Yeah. So that's again a taboo, right? In our society.
Yeah.
Yes, he passed on 11 years ago now. It was happened so suddenly. Children were very young at that time. I was in Nairobi, he was in Nyeri. Anyway, that phase is gone. His memories are still there. He's given us such beautiful memories that I think still today we remember. Not just me alone and not just the children. I think all his friends, whoever he was with, he was a people's person. So I think even in his funeral, I was so surprised at the amount of people from all over, from Nairobi. And I think we had mix, and I think had so many local people over there. I was like, wow. I know he's touched people directly and indirectly. So I think with that he's taught me a lot. Yeah. It's even in business wise or anything kind of thing. Like I said, the last week before he passed on, he was in Nyeri and he would tell me, Kalpa, go there. This is how you will talk. I'm teaching you. You know, it's like probably, you know, sometimes it happens with the people who are going to die young. I think they somehow know it that they're going, and whatever time they have, they make sure that they give their full attention to family, friends, everybody.
They live a full life.
Yeah, I think even the boys, I mean, they were young, but he made sure that he gave them the time. So even like we were living in Nairobi, so he used to be like, we were called as weekend lovers. He would come on a Saturday, and that would be our date. And if anybody called him, I said, today is Kalpa's day. She'd tell me to jump. I ask her how high.
Wow.
Yeah. So he made sure he gave us all the time. So that way, even in Nairobi, even after he gone also, the week would go by because we were so busy in our own, my work, the children, everything. And then it's only on Saturdays, weekends is when you would think that he's going to come.
Yeah.
That's the only time we could probably meet. So we went on, probably he knew that, I don't know, I really don't know, but he's made us so that we could handle things by ourselves.
Yeah. And what does it take for a man who gets married to a woman that he doesn't know, you know, in a traditional way that sometimes some people look down upon it even till today, to empower his wife?
I think it takes a while. I think love marriage or arranged marriage is a gamble, both ways. I think because probably
nothing is guaranteed.
True, because I think when you're in love, you try to portray a better of you, and then only once you start living together, then you realize.
Okay.
I think same thing with arranged marriages. Is now you don't know the person, you try to get. It took him almost 3 months to say I love you, you know, like because to understand, to get to know each other more. I think it was when you start living with each other, staying with each other, you understand each other better. And then he because I was of my education, I taught in a school in Nyeri too. Yeah. But then because of paperwork and everything, it took a while for me to start all that. But he always would push me to do what I wanted to do. Even my painting, be it my dance, be it anything. He's never stopped me.
Yeah.
He always like, go forward, because he had seen how the family was earlier. You know, they had that old-fashioned kind of thinking and everything. I think with time it changed, and he helped his Barbies also to change, because it was more of a sari, you wear a gunga, you know, that kind of thing. And slowly it became you could wear salwar suits, and that's one. So I think even at home, my mom was like, not in front of the father-in-law, you don't wear Western outfits. So we would literally hide. When you were going out, you hide and go out of the house to, you know, when you're wearing a trouser or something like that, and hide and come back in and change. So I think it's a lot of traditions, and it's changed. It's changing slowly. Probably with the current generation, but the older generation still have that values and those ones that you have to follow such things. I've seen it here. I've seen it so much here that the wife is suppressed. I've seen so many who have lost husbands, and probably they just don't know what to do and what is happening in their lives. Probably the husbands don't tell them everything, what is happening, what their businesses are, or what investments they have done, or what they have done, nothing like that.
So what would you suggest to wives?
I would take, but again, it depends on how much the husband wants to tell too, right? Even if the wife goes and says, I want to, the husband will say, why do you want to know? You don't need to know anything. You don't understand everything. Probably, I think they need to stand up for themselves and do what they feel they can do. I mean, I've seen so many women over here who can do. I've seen this one group, I was like, it's surprised, and mom boss kind of a thing. It's surprising to see there's so many women who can do it. And then you listen to stories where the husbands hitting her, or, you know, why do they stand? Because they are not independent enough to look after themselves.
And also worried about what will
security. No, security is the main thing, right?
Yeah.
Financial security, security for their children. Probably that is one thing what they worry, and they're okay to carry on with that marriage for however long, can take all the beatings, as long as the children are fed or children are go to school.
What do you think about that?
No, it gets me angry. I said, why can't they do? They have it in them to do it. Probably they don't have the support or kind of anybody to push them. You can do it. For me, it's with my gymming. If nobody pushes me, I will not do it. Like that.
Lazy workout person. So just, you know, talking about that, because you're a mom of two young men. I was gonna say boys, but now they're young men. How are you bringing them up differently?
I am giving them independence to do what they want, but with a limit. Opportunity to do, in a sense, like I've given them, make them more, what do you call, confident to do whatever. I mean, I've not stopped them from doing what they want. I've asked them. The best part is they always ask me, Mom, can we do this? Can I do that? You know, can I go out? Can I drink? Can I, you know, yes. So that's what it's satisfying to know that you've done something right for them to be at least asking you, even if, I mean, we all have a common bank card, all of us. Even if they have to use it, they'll ask me, Mom, can I use the card? Even though they know whatever is happening. So that's what I've given them. And I've not pushed them to anything different from what they want to do. Parth wanted to learn, be a chef. I said, okay. Manav said, I want to do veterinary medicine. I said, okay, whatever you feel is you are comfortable and you feel that you can handle it through.
And how are you encouraging them to empower women?
Respect. I think as much as they respect their mom, I think then they respect the friends, and yes, they've seen it. I think they are more vigilant about whatever is happening around, and they know what is right and what's wrong.
And does that come from having open conversations with them and not?
I try to have open conversations with them, but sometimes I think the men need a man to understand them more, as much as they can talk to mom. But there are certain topics or certain things they cannot talk to, as much as I try. I try, like, but they feel, no, Mom, I know. Literally, they said, Mom, that's not a topic to talk about. So I leave it to them. And then I think they have friends they have around who can talk to them. And then their friends, I think now they're old, 22, 21. I think they really understand what is happening around them.
Wow.
They do.
How does it look like to become an empowered woman, according to you? What does it look like?
I don't feel empowered, but everybody feels that Kalpa, you are
Really?
an inspiration.
You are the epitome of empowerment, I feel.
Thank you.
I mean, look at this. You've come from a life in India where it was close-knit, right? Brought up by your mom and dad who were always there for you. Come into a very strange country, become like water, adaptable, easy to flow, settle into a very large family in a small town in Kenya. So that's not easy. And then you lose your husband. And then you sort of rise from the ashes, if you will. You take your husband's company.
Yeah.
You're now the CEO of that company. You raise 2 solid young men, and you're an outspoken person who's passionate about her dreams. And
Speaking came after.
but still, so that's what I'm saying. I think that you are the epitome of an empowered woman.
It should come from within you, not from anybody else. And when you see whatever is happening around, you feel it's not the right thing, and probably being at that position there where you could use that position to help, it's a beautiful thing. Otherwise, people know me as Raka. Probably very few know me as Kalpa.
Yeah.
Everywhere, hi Raka. I was like, okay, hi. I mean, Raka. I think that's probably being the CEO or being a name people can associate themselves with the product or with this one, and they understand there's a lady who's handling it, and then they feel, and probably an Indian lady. I think we do have a lot of Indians who are at that position also.
Yes.
I think if all of us could come together and see something that how we could help these women or help people to be there.
Yeah.
I've just heard of, I think the other day I heard the Kamal Gupta's wife has started something like that to teach women and see how they can. I just learned about it. I said, that's amazing.
And that's it. I always say that an empowered person needs to use their space to empower others.
Very true, very true.
But I think you're doing that. I think you really
on
are.
a silent way.
What's your favorite part of your life?
When I got married.
Okay. What's the craziest thing you've done in the name of love?
Wow. What have I done? I don't remember.
You don't remember? The craziest thing you've done in the name of love?
He was a romantic person. So.
Really? Wow. What's harder for you to accomplish? What was harder for you to accomplish than you expected?
Didn't expect him to not be around, so you're not prepared for that kind of a life.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of things I've said it can't happen, and it has happened.
Yeah.
My boys can't be with the father. That happened. We can't be on a terrorist attack. It happened. We can't have a robbery. It happened.
Oh, gosh.
Can't have a stroke. It happened. Can't have COVID. It happened. So.
So never say never.
Never
maybe.
say never.
Wow. Oh gosh. Yeah.
And never think of the negative. I think.
Yeah.
That this can happen.
As a stroke survivor, what's the one thing that you've learned from your stroke?
Don't stress. But I don't think we can live without stress. Being a businesswoman kind of a thing, I think it's a stress every day of wondering how to go about and everything. I think that's and health.
Is there anything that you do to purposefully not stress, de-stress?
I try not to stress, but I think the mind is so bad that things just, even if I'm praying, if you have thoughts coming in, how do I do this? How will I go about with this? So I think I've tried, but nothing.
Wow.
I've tried my best.
So now I'm going to ask you some questions about you being our superhero this week. and how you go beyond. If you were a superhero, you know, they have the powers. So I'm giving you the power to travel back in time. Where would you go and why?
I think when I got married to the family over here, just to change their perspective, change their thought process, and accept women as somebody who has a power to handle. I mean, I think a woman can be anything.
Yes.
First she's a daughter, then she becomes a wife, then a daughter-in-law, then a mother, and CEO. I think she can do anything. She has the power in her to do it. It's just that she needs that push from people, or the change of the perception.
Yes.
What is in their mind, that the woman is only meant to do look after, have children, look after children, cook. No, and look after the husband. I mean, I want to change that, especially in women, to understand that they can do more. If they can give birth to a child, I think she can do anything.
Yeah, I agree. What's the most daring thing you have done?
Becoming the CEO, handling and talking to people. I mean, I think earlier I was very
shy.
I was called the Kantaven,
Really?
I mean, that was the perception kind of a thing. Like, Kalpa is very silent, very timid, doesn't say anything. I think that's something very daring I've done, to start talking, and today I can't stop talking. Sorry.
That's good. What would you like to be remembered for?
Helping people, not as Raka, as Kalpa.
Or Pinku. What's the one quality all superheroes must have?
Respect. I think that's one thing everybody needs to have, respect for everybody, every human being, be it even animals, and I mean to everybody. I would say that's one thing everybody needs to have, respect and self-confidence.
So because these conversations are brought to you by SBM Bank, of course we have to talk about money. We're going to ask Kalpa to pull a money card, and we'll find out a little bit more about her and how she spends her money.
Oh wow.
Is it difficult? Not difficult.
What does success mean to you?
Okay, and then there's a money question. So what does success mean to you? That's actually quite appropriate, I feel.
Success is, I think, security, and probably the people who are working for you, to see that they are happy and looked after.
I like that. If money didn't exist, where would you travel to and why?
If money didn't exist, I think I would travel to India.
I was going to say that. I was going to say, don't say India, because I know that's where you love going.
Yeah, that's probably where the family is. But I think if I went, I would want to go to Budapest, because I couldn't go to drop my younger one when he went. Otherwise, I think wherever they've gone, Mom has followed through everybody. So I think, he's the photos he's been sending is like amazing, so beautiful. So probably,
Budapest.
To Europe.
I like it. Thank you so much, Kalpa.
Welcome.
It's always such a pleasure talking to you and learning from you. And I really think you are such a bright light.
Thank you.
And we're so grateful that you're always sharing and shining that light.
Thank you. I just hope that this would help women to at least feel that they have it in them to do something.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So your chance to win with Safaricom is right now. If you have subscribed to this YouTube channel, then you're up ahead in front of everyone else. What you need to do, though, is comment on this video and let us know who you think in your community is a superhero. If you want to win it that much more, what you need to do is share this video on your social media platforms and make sure you tag us so we know that you have shared. And who knows, you could win a phone with Safaricom. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again next week.